There are two people, same city, same age, same income. Both make around $85,000 a year. From the outside, they look identical. Same kind of apartment, same general lifestyle, same doing okay appearance. But their lives feel completely different. Not slightly different, completely. First, there's Daniel. He works a 9-to-5 job in a corporate office. His alarm goes off at 6:45, not because he wants to wake up, but because he has to. He checks his phone first thing. Emails, notifications, Slack messages already coming in. Rushes through breakfast. Coffee in one hand, half attention on the clock. Traffic. Same route, same stress. By the time he reaches the office, he already feels like the day has started without him. Meetings, deadlines, back-to-back conversations that somehow feel unfinished. Lunch isn't really a break. It's just eating while thinking about work. By 4 p.m., he's tired, but not done. By 6:30 p.m., he's finally home. But here's the part people don't see. He's not physically exhausted. He's mentally drained. Dinner, a bit of scrolling, trying to relax, but never fully switching off. Then sleep, just enough to do it all again. Weekends, mostly recovery, catching up on rest, running errands, preparing for Monday. Not really living, just resetting. Now there's Marcus. Same income, same city, same starting point. But his structure looks different. He works as a freelance consultant, not some flashy entrepreneur, no big team, no viral business, just a few consistent clients. Work he understands, work he controls. He starts his day around 8:30, sometimes earlier, sometimes later. No alarm panic, no rush. He works in focused blocks, deep work, then stops, takes breaks when he wants, walks outside, grabs coffee without checking the time. Some days, he finishes work by 2 p.m., not because he's lazy, but because his work isn't tied to hours. It's tied to output. He picks up his kids from school without asking anyone, has dinner without checking emails every 5 minutes, travels occasionally, midweek sometimes, off-season, cheaper, quieter, without asking for permission. Same income, but completely different lives. And this is where it gets interesting. Hi, I'm Rishi, and over the last few years, I've been paying attention to something most people don't really question. Why two people with the same income can end up living completely different lives. Not just financially, but in how they spend their time, how they feel on a random Tuesday, how much control they actually have. And the more I looked into it, the more I realized this isn't random. There's a pattern behind it, a system, and once you start noticing it, you see it everywhere. Daniel isn't doing anything wrong. He followed the system exactly as it was designed. Go to school, get a degree, find a stable job, stay consistent. And for a while, that works. But that system quietly traded his time for stability. Marcus didn't escape work. He just changed the structure of it. And that difference is what most people never fully understand. Transition. This isn't about jobs versus business, not about right versus wrong. This is about something deeper, a system that millions of people are part of without ever questioning it, the rat race. And once you start seeing how it works, it becomes hard to unsee. The real problem, it's not the job. Most people think the problem is the job itself. Bad boss, long hours, stress. But it's not. The real issue is the structure around it. You're paid on a schedule. You live on a schedule. You rest on a schedule. Even your free time is scheduled. Over time, your entire life becomes structured around work. And slowly, almost invisibly, you lose control over your time. That's the real currency. Not money, time. Because money can be earned again. Time can't. Why it feels normal. Here's the tricky part. This system feels normal because everyone around you is doing the same thing. Your friends, your coworkers, your family. School trains you for it. Society rewards it. Get good grades, get a stable job, stay consistent. No one really teaches you to question it, and psychologically, humans are wired to follow patterns. A study published by the American Psychological Association shows that people tend to stick to familiar systems even when better alternatives exist, because uncertainty feels risky, even when staying the same is quietly costing more. The hidden trade. The rat race isn't obvious because the trade looks fair. You give time, you get money. Seems reasonable, but over time, the imbalance grows. You want a vacation, you ask for permission. You want more time, you earn it slowly. You want to leave, you risk your income. That's when people start feeling stuck, not because they're failing, but because the system limits flexibility. The psychology of being stuck. This is where it gets deeper. Most people don't stay in the rat race because they want to. They stay because of psychology. Fear of uncertainty, fear of losing stability, fear of judgment. According to a 2024 Deloitte workplace study, over 60% of employees report feeling stuck in their jobs, even when they're dissatisfied, not because they lack options, but because change feels risky. And the longer you stay, the harder it becomes to leave. Responsibilities increase, expenses increase, dependence increases, until eventually freedom feels unrealistic. The lifestyle lock-in. This is one of the biggest traps. As income increases, so does lifestyle. Better apartment, better car, better everything. And suddenly, you need the job to maintain the life the job created. This is called lifestyle inflation, and it's backed by data. Research from the Federal Reserve shows that spending tends to rise almost proportionally with income for most households, which means even when people earn more, they don't gain freedom. They just upgrade their cage. Why freedom looks different. Marcus didn't necessarily earn more. He just structured his income differently. Less dependency, more control. That's the key difference. Freedom isn't about working less. It's about controlling your time. And most people never design for that. They optimize for income, not flexibility.
Now, here's the part that usually gets oversimplified online. Just quit your job, start a business, follow your passion. That sounds good, but it's not realistic for most people. The real escape is slower, more practical, more intentional. It starts with small shifts. First, reduce dependence on a single income source. Even a small secondary stream changes how you think. Second, control fixed expenses, because lower expenses equal more freedom. Third, build assets, investments, skills, systems, anything that generates value without needing your constant time. According to long-term market data, the S&P 500 has historically returned around 7 to 10% annually. That's not exciting, but it compounds, and compounding is what creates options. The mindset shift. The biggest shift isn't financial, it's mental. You stop asking, how do I earn more? And start asking, how do I need less and keep more? How do I gain control over my time? Because once you think like that, your decisions change. Daniel and Marcus started in the same place. Same income, same opportunities. But over time, their choices created different lives. One optimized for stability, the other optimized for flexibility. Neither was wrong, but only one built freedom. The rat race isn't a trap you fall into overnight. It's something you slowly adjust to, until one day it feels like the only option. 10 years pass, not suddenly, not dramatically, just quietly. Daniel is now in his mid-40s. His income is higher, his position is better. His life looks stable. He has a bigger house now, a nicer car, more responsibilities. On paper, he did everything right, but something feels off. His days still look the same, just heavier. More meetings, more pressure, less energy. The money improved, but the structure didn't. Now look at Marcus. Same 10 years, same starting point. His income also grew, not always perfectly, but steadily. More importantly, his time stayed his. He adjusted his work, changed clients when needed, took breaks without asking permission. He didn't just earn more, he lived more. Trips with family, random weekdays off, moments that didn't need approval. And here's the part that hits the hardest. Both of them have money now, but only one of them has time attached to it. Because money without time is delayed life. And time doesn't wait. You don't get your 30s back. You don't get those missed dinners back. You don't get the years of "I'll do it later" back. A report from the Bureau of Labor Statistics shows that the average full-time worker in the US spends over 8.5 hours a day on work-related activities. That's more than 90,000 hours over a lifetime. And the question isn't just, how much did you earn? It's, what did it cost you? Because wealth isn't just numbers. It's experiences, freedom, moments you actually lived through. And if all of that gets delayed until someday, sometimes, that someday comes too late. That's the part no one talks about. Not the money, but the time that disappeared while you were busy earning it. But it's not. And once you start seeing the structure, you realize something simple. You don't need to escape everything. You just need to stop building a life that depends on a system you don't fully control. And that's where things start to change.